Now, here's my third takeaway, and I think this is a little bit of a desperation thought, and maybe you don't have to overreact like this, but the Cavs have a gentleman by the name of Edy Tavares on the team. Now, for those who don't know, Edy Tavares was a mainstay in the D-League, part of the Raptors 905, who, by the way, won the championship, the NBA D-League championships this year. Now, Edy Tavares wasn't on that team because by the time Edy Tavares got called up by the Cavs, it was only the first round of the playoffs. Actually, no, that is incorrect. The regular season of the D-League was just ending. I know that his hand was a big issue, but the point I'm trying to make is they have a gentleman by the name of Edy Tavares who is 7'2", and whose wingspan is just unbelievable. It is long. It is lanky. And I know it is D-League, but I had the pleasure of watching him play day in and day out. And day in and day out, he showed the ability to guard pick and rolls. He showed the ability to get into passing lanes. Showed the ability to block lots of shots. Oh, and also, offensively, he wasn't bad either. But it's the D-League, take that with a grain of salt. But defensively, he was playing extremely well. I wonder if Ty Lue, for Game 2, maybe considers going with Edy Tavares. And maybe, just maybe, Edy Tavares can make an impact. Because I think Edy Tavares can be used effectively in this series, especially for how many open dunks Kevin Durant got. Because Kevin Durant basically owned the Cavs in Game 1. And he owned the Cavs because you couldn't leave Curry open. You couldn't leave Thompson open. There's Draymond in the back over there. Really, the only guy that you could kind of sort of leave open, and it was kind of sort of working in the first quarter, was Zaza Pachulia, who, by the way, in the first quarter looked so nervous and was giving up so many open shots that it led to turnovers at times. I think Zaza Pachulia, honest to God, was responsible for 3 of the 4 turnovers. Now, the stats do not say it, and the stats will actually credit Curry for those turnovers or discredit him for those turnovers, depending on how you look at it. And Draymond Green had 2 turnovers. But realistically, it was 3 of those 4 turnovers were Zaza Pachulia's fault. And I wonder if you get Edy Tavares in the game, you make him guard Zaza, but leave Zaza alone and be a helper. Now, I know this is an unpopular opinion, and I get it. He's the 15th man on the bench. But I've seen Edy Tavares play. And I've been covering the NBA and the NBA D-League for 3 years now. I understand who can work and who don't work. And listen, I am just a guy who has a podcast. I can be wrong. And maybe the coaching staff in Cleveland are seeing something that I am not. But what I see from Edy Tavares is a guy who can make you 10 points better defensively. Who can? He can. I'm not saying he will, but he can make you 10 points better defensively. And considering the fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers lost 113-91 and gave up 31 assists and created no turnovers. The Warriors were responsible for their turnovers. And 3 of them were Zaza Pachulia's fault. But Edy Tavares can get into passing lanes. So what if you decide, okay, we're going to play ugly, but we're going to make them play ugly too. And that's where Edy Tavares comes in. And I think Edy Tavares can be very useful in this series for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, I don't know. Again, he's the 15th man on the bench. But they have him on the squad. And he is featured on the squad. And from what I can tell, people are saying that on the roster sheet, he is ready to go. He is active. And I understand that he did break his hand. Well, fractured his hand. But it is a hand injury, and it happened 3 weeks ago. So that's something to consider. But, from what I can tell, it looks like he is ready to go. And I would say that Edy Tavares, maybe Tyronn Lue knows something that I don't, but give him a shot. See what he can do. I don't know.